Today I'm going to be sitting down and talking to you guys about tips for summer training. Now, I got this comment yesterday, and I'll throw it up on screen. I really appreciate the comment. He was kind of just concerned about his summer training. He's been going through injuries each summer, and he's noticed kind of my progression throughout the summer, so I really do appreciate that. And he was just kind of asking for tips about physical and mental stuff that he can do in the summer to have a good summer. So I actually wrote down a few things on this piece of paper, and I'll just kind of fly through these and talk on each one. And also, I've been getting a lot of questions about kind of my training and stuff like that, so I thought I'd sit down and talk to you guys. A lot of people ask, what do I do in the summer as far as like workouts, like thresholds, stuff like that. So we'll just start out with the little things. Now, this is like kind of an injury prevention type thing. To stay, healthy, I like to do a lot of the little things. A lot of stuff goes behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. It's not just running. You're going to have to do some things like hip mobility. Stretching is a huge thing. Sleep, you're going to have to sleep a lot, making sure you're getting that sleep. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot of things. Maybe you're not able to go out with friends one night because you have to wake up early and do your long run in the morning. And if you go out, you're going to be super tired for that long run in the morning. Things like that. But definitely like hip mobility, core work, push-ups. I do not personally lift weights, but I do a lot of push-ups and core work. But what else? Stuff like lunges. I do lunge matrix before every single run. Just to kind of build up the strength in my legs. Like I said, don't lift weights, but I do a lot of stuff like that. If you guys are interested in all the little things I do, I could honestly make a video about that. If you guys are interested, just leave that down in the comments, and I'll be happy to make a video on that. The second thing that I wrote down was stuff about like long runs, steady state runs, and stuff like that. A lot of people are curious on what kind of runs I do. Obviously, I do the normal easy day runs. And just normal runs like that, but they were kind of curious on like if I do any workouts, stuff like that during the summer. And I wouldn't say I do a lot of intense workouts. I don't do any like speed work, nothing like that. But some things I really cherish are the long run. I feel like the long run is important to any summer training plan. You need that long run. Just a day where you are going out and getting on your feet for an extended amount of time. That is usually significantly more than what you usually do. It doesn't necessarily have to be fast, but just time on the feet is a big factor for me. The farthest I've ever ran is 16 miles. My typical long run is usually like 14 to 12, somewhere in that range during the summer. But yeah, a long run is super important in my personal opinion. And then the other thing I like to do a lot is a steady state run. Basically, how I would describe steady state is just a pace that is not comfortable. It's not like an easy pace, but it's definitely a pace you can hold for a long time. My PRs, I'm sure you guys know them, 15:59 5K, 9:31 3200, 4:22 1600, and then 1:58 800. So based off those times, my steady state is around like 5:50 to 6 minute pace, and I usually do that for about 8 miles. I did a few 8 mile steady state runs where I was holding around 5:50 pace. That's like my go-to workout in the summers. I love doing those type of runs. I feel like they really work up your aerobic base, which is awesome. And I feel like in the summer, it's all about aerobic base. And then once you actually get into season is when you start working on your anaerobic stuff and getting that speed work done. The next thing I wrote down is kind of like another injury prevention thing. This is stuff I've been taught. I haven't came up with this stuff. This is stuff I've been taught. Probably some of you guys watching this video are like, this dude's 18. I shouldn't really be listening to this guy. He just finished up high school. But this has come from, coaches and mentors and stuff like that. So another injury prevention thing, a lot of people ask, how much mileage should they do? And really, I can't really answer that question just because, it's different from every single person. But here is something I will tell you. If you do want to increase mileage, which I definitely would encourage for summer training, I definitely would increase mileage from what you do during the season, just to kind of, like I said, to work that aerobic base and get a lot of mileage under your legs. It's going to build strength in you. But the thing I would do is increase by 5 miles a week. That is like the control to not get injured. That's basically what everyone would prefer you to do, is just increase 5 miles a week, and they say that will keep you injury free. Now obviously that is not 100% guaranteed, but they recommend 5 miles per week each week would keep you healthy. And just make sure you don't have a goal mileage in mind that is not crazy. Like if you've only ran 30 miles during the week, don't say you want to go out this summer and run like 70 miles a week. And then so just have a reasonable goal as far as weekly mileage goes. Another thing I wrote down, which is huge, especially for me because I kind of struggle with this, as like dumb as it sounds, but rest days are huge. Rest days can be very good for you. At the end of the day, I personally don't like taking rest days, but I have started to a lot more recently. They can be beneficial, as weird as it sounds. Taking a day off can be a lot better than running that day, in my personal opinion. I feel like you definitely need to listen to your body during summer training. If you are not feeling it one day, just do not go out and run. If you have, a nagging injury or something like that, take a few days off, because it's better you take those few days off now than to run on it, end up getting hurt, something like that, and having to stay out longer than if you would have taken those, 3 days off then. And kind of something I just thought about now, which I do a lot of, is if you are, super tight, sore, you're having a nagging injury or something like that, I highly recommend ice baths and Epsom salt baths. Both totally different. Ice baths are super cold, Epsom salts are super hot. I love both of them. I think they both work wonders. But yeah, definitely look into those if you have never done either of those before. I think those can be super beneficial in your summer training. I'll definitely take a lot of both of those types of baths. But yeah, that is basically some of the tips that I ran through. If you guys have any questions, be sure to comment them, or suggestions on videos as well. If you guys have any of that stuff, make sure to comment that down below. I try to reply to all my comments. I feel like I do a pretty good job of that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.